Dear students, continuing with a review of question paper December 19, January 20, today we'll discuss question number 6 of module number 3. The question number 6a, list different types of losses in a transformer and explain each one in brief. We know in the case of a transformer there are two losses. One is called as the copper loss, the other one is called as the iron loss. The copper loss is also called as a variable loss. It is because of I square R loss. The copper loss varies with the load current because I told you that is a copper loss is proportional to I square. Therefore, as the load current varies and the copper loss is also the varying. Then because of this loss, I square R loss, there is a heat is producing. Then it is created by the resistance of the primary and secondary winding. Therefore, the total copper loss is expressed as it is I1 square R1, that is a copper loss in the primary winding, and I2 square R2, that is a copper loss in the secondary winding. It can be expressed either refer to the primary or secondary side by converting the equivalent resistance refer to the primary or secondary side, that is I1 square RO1, or it is I2 square RO2, where RO1 is equivalent resistance of the whole transformer referred to the primary side. Therefore, it is I1 square into RO1 is the total copper loss. Similarly, if you want to express in the secondary side, it is I2 square RO2, where RO2 is equivalent resistance of the transformer referred to the secondary side. Then the next one is the iron loss. It is also called as the constant loss, or also it is called as a core loss. It has got two components. One is called as a hysteresis, the loss, and the other one is eddy current loss. Irrespective of the load condition, these losses are a constant, therefore these are fixed, and whether the transformer is connected to load or it is under no load condition, these losses are always present. These losses are depending upon the transformer, the construction. It is independent of load current. The first one, what I am taking up here is the hysteresis loss. It is depending upon once again the construction features of a transformer. One is the volume of the core and the frequency and maximum flux density. It is an empirical formula for hysteresis loss, where eta is the hysteresis constant. It is varying from 1.6 to 2.1 depending on the different magnetic material, where V is the value of the magnetic frame and F is the frequency. Then this hysteresis loss can be reduced by using the special steels, and the core is made up of laminations. To reduce the hysteresis loss, the special steel core is used. At the same time, it is made up of laminations. Here, to minimize the hysteresis loss, a special type of material is used, that is what you are calling is cold rolled grain oriented material is used. Silicon steel is used to minimize the hysteresis loss and to build the iron core. It is called as CRGO. Then the next one is the eddy current loss. Once again, this eddy current loss is also depending upon the construction features of a transformer. Then once again, it is proportional to the thickness T, and also depending upon the frequency F, and it is proportional to the flux density as well as the volume of the magnetic core, and also it is depending upon the quality of the magnetic material, that is a constant K. Therefore, the empirical formula for eddy current loss is expressed as kV Bmax square F square T square watts. It is, once again, if you observe the formula here, it is mainly depending upon the volume of the magnetic core as well as the thickness of the core. Therefore, once again, it is independent of the load current. Once again, therefore, the eddy current loss also, it is independent of the load current. Therefore, the eddy current and hysteresis loss put together called iron loss, they are independent of the load current. Therefore, these are called as the constant losses. Once again, this eddy current can be minimized by making the magnetic core laminated. and it is producing the heat. To minimize the eddy current losses, we use the iron core, which is made of laminated steel stampings. The thickness of the stampings is around 0.5 mm. That is only the precaution measure you have to take to reduce the eddy current loss. The question number 6b, what he asked is, what is earthing? Why earthing is required? With the help of sketch, explain the plate earthing. First, it has got three different parts. That is what do you mean by the earthing. Next, what is the requirement of the earthing, and the plate type of earthing you have to explain with the help of need diagram. First, we will take up what do you mean by the earthing. The earthing is a process through which the instant discharge of electricity is moved to the earth plate by way of low resistance wire or cables. This earthing provides a least resistance for the excessive or a short circuit current, so that it protects human beings as well as the electrical devices in the system. It is an extremely important aspect of electrical network, as it offers safety to the dangerous effect to the devices as well as the human beings. Then the requirement of earthing is, or importance of the earthing is, the earthing protects the personnel or human beings from the short circuit current. The earthing provides easiest path to the flow of short circuit current even after the failure of the insulation. In the case of failure of insulation, it is providing a low resistance path for the short circuit current. And third, the important thing is that the earthing protects the apparatus and the personnel from the high voltage surges and lighting discharges. These things are you have to write for the requirement of the earthing. One is the what is the earthing? It is providing a low resistance path. Then the importance of the earthing is to protect the devices and human beings by the abnormal condition in the electrical system. Then the third part is you have to draw a neat diagram of plate earthing with a labeling of the different parts of the system, and you have to explain. Here I am giving a brief explanation for the plate earthing as well as this pipe earthing. Don't write for, if it is asking only plate earthing, you have to write for plate earthing. And for detail this circuit diagram and the explanation and the different sections of the plate earthing, you can refer our PDF notes. In this type of system, a plate is made up of copper. This is made up of copper or a GI or galvanized iron, which are placed vertically in a ground less than 3 meters from the earth, and that pit is filled with the coal and salt, and it should be kept at moisture conditions, so that you have to provide the least resistance path for the excessive current to flow to the earth. Then question number 6c, what he asked is, write a short notes on the MCB and precaution against the electrical shock. Here first you have to write for the MCB, what do you mean by MCB, what is the function of the MCB and how it works. That is the miniature circuit breaker, or it is called as MCB. It is automatically switched off electrical circuit during the abnormal condition. That is, in the case of any short circuit or abnormal condition, the miniature circuit breaker automatically it is go into off position. Suppose once the system is restored, then the restoration is possible by merely switching on the switch. Okay, that is, in the case of abnormal condition of the network, means in the overload condition as well as the faulty condition, it goes into off position. The restoration is easily possible by just switching it to on position. Then the working principle of the MCB is very simple. It has got a bimetallic strip. It is attached to the contacts of the MCB. Because of the excessive current is flowing through the bimetallic strip, it is heated up and it is deflecting, so that it is giving a signal to, it is actuating the mechanical mechanism, so that it has to detach the circuit breaker contacts. That is, as this mechanical latch is attached with the operating mechanism, it causes to open the miniature circuit breaker contacts and MCB turns off, thereby stopping the current to flow in the circuit. To restart the flow of current, the MCB must be manually turned off. These are the two important points you have to write for the MCB. This mechanism protects from the fault arising due to the overcurrent or overload. Then protection against there are two types of the contact you come across the live wires, either in the form of direct contact or indirect contact. Then there are two levels of the protections in the against direct contact and the indirect contact. In the case of the direct contact means if you come in direct contact with the live wires, then how to avoid this? How to precaution measures you have to take from the direct touching up of the live wires. That is, for that what you have to do is protection by the insulation of the live parts. Wherever there is a live parts are there, you have to insulate so that they should not come into contact with the human beings. That is, the insulation of the live parts may be made. Protection by means of how the barriers or enclosures in the cabinets, assemblies, control panels and the distribution boards. That is, the insulation is made in such a way that you can avoid the contact of the live wires by making the live wires barriers, or they are kept in the enclosures or in the form of cabinets, assemblies, control panels and the distribution board, so that it should not be come in contact with the human beings. And additional measures of protection against the hazards of direct contact is provided by use of a special devices that is called as residual current operating device, which operate on 30 milliamperes or less. It is called as RCDs of high sensitivity, so that if the current which exceeds 30 milliamperes, definitely it is protect against the direct live contact with the electrical circuit. This is when there is a live wire. It is a precaution against the live wire. Then protection against the indirect contact, it is because of mainly the insulation failure. There are two levels of the protection is suggested for the indirect contact. In the level 1, that is, you have to provide all the installation with the earthing of all the exposed conduits, parts of the electrical equipment in the installation, and the constitution of an equipment bonding network should be properly earthed. And in the level 2, automatic disconnection of the supply in the case of a fault is provided in the case of indirect contact. That is, that these two type of the protections they are taking for the indirect contact of the live wires, or indirect contact because of the failure of the insulation. In the next session, we'll take up the module number 4, that is question number 7 and the 8.